I was convicted of disobeying my husband for not wanting him to marry half-sister as second wife, and was sentenced to royal prison. 7 days in prison. And when I came out, it was the people from courtesan house who came to fetch me. General Pei said, "Told my slave to teach you the rules of being a wife." So I became the servant of courtesan house, scrubbing and sweeping in the daytime, and became the unclothed concubine in the tent at night. Men who loved to hunt for sex came to the house, all wanting to taste the former general's wife. Countless times inside the red tent. Is the general great or am I great? The teasing sound. Until that day, the youthful general with a clear breeze walked into courtesan house. Why is Mr. Pei here, madam? The instructor of courtesan house was full of smiles to welcome people at the door, and immediately changed his mouth when he saw the stern eyes. At this time, I was kneeling on the ground waiting for the guests in the floating tent to put on their shoes. Naturally, I came to courtesan house to drink tea and listen to music. Lucas lifted his step in, his eyes falling far away from me. Trainer madam recognizes the eyes and calls me, "Dream lady, here comes patron." I gather my shirt and walk to Lucas with a lowered brow and kneel in front of him. "Servant, please patron, have mercy." Lucas grimaced, his fists clenched and creaking, his coarse fingers cupping my chin and lifting it. "Sophia, is this what you learned at courtesan house?" I still drooped my eyes. My voice lightly trembled. "Slave knows wrong. Please master, rest his anger." Words fell. Hot teardrops fell on the back of his hand. Lucas stiffened, and heavily shook me off. He snorted. "Rather should send you to the South Song class. Is a good corner. I don't have time to watch you act. You've been here for half a year. Do you know what's wrong?" I returned very quickly. "Slave, no wrong. Then are you willing to coexist peacefully with Ayu in the future?" "Nu is willing." Lucas sidled his head and grunted softly. "If it wasn't for Ayu persuading me, I wouldn't have come today." Beside him stood a female disguised as a male attendant. My former half-sister, Luna, Pei Lang. In a few days it will be old General Pei's birthday banquet. So it's not a good idea to disappoint them. Luna's gaze gazed at me and I kowtowed to her in thanks. "Many thanks to Mrs. Pei." Lucas frowned and scolded. "Sophia, if you continue this behavior, don't go back." I scrambled to get up, revealing the bruise on my neck in my panic. The patron who came here to look for me was never soft. Courtesan house had used all sorts of strange and torturous things to torture people, so this wound was no longer a surprise. Lucas reached out and pressed his hand heavily on the spot. "What? A bitter trick." I dodged, pulling on the lapels of my shirt for fear that he would see more of the unpleasantness. How would I ever pull off a bitter trick these days? It only works for those who truly love me. Luna pulled out a silver ingot from her purse and gave it to Madam, the instructor, to thank her for teaching me these 6 months. I was afraid that Lucas would change his mind, so I went to the floating tent to fetch my things. Luna covered her lips and sneered. "Sister, who said that I would take you back to the general's residence tonight?" I hugged the shabby baggage and stood woodenly. "No, not going." Lucas raised his eyebrows playfully. "Yeah, it's the beginning of next month when I take you back for the birth feast." "Who said I'm taking you back? After the birthday banquet. You still need to come back. What are you doing with these?" He twisted up a corner of the bag and threw it away in disgust. Too sniffing, I pulled a bitter smile, and in the next second the tears in my eyes were already drooping. Lucas snorted out a laugh and knocked my head with a paper fan. "Sophia, aren't you used to making jokes about you? How come you can't even take that joke now?" My eyes froze and it took me some time to react to the meaning of his words. "Okay, I won't tease you anymore. I still have to go to the Lantern Festival with you today, so you can return tomorrow. Also, you are dressed like a singer, and you are not ashamed. So go back to the general's house to be ashamed of you." After saying that, Lucas turned around and walked away with his hands behind his back. Luna on the side hooked her lips at me in triumph. Instructor Madam got paid and did treat me better than before. After Lucas left, she told me to pick up 2 patron and let me go. The next day, I finally changed into my good girl's costume, eagerly awaiting my early departure from Courtesan House. The tiny wooden sedan chair rattled to a halt in front of Courtesan House, and Madam, the instructor, came out to see me off as she straightened my lapel. "Don't blame me for this year, dream lady. If you do, you chose the wrong man. I'm also listening to people's errands. Go back to what should be said and what shouldn't be said. Skin carefully." Sharp nails scratched through the skin, and the memory of skin and flesh came to me. I closed my eyes and returned with a trembling voice. "Thank you, madam, for mentioning." Mignon remembered. Lucas only sent the boy over, and the sedan chair carried me from the back door of the general's residence into the courtyard. Returning to the general's residence again, I was in a trance. My mind flashed back to my past with Lucas like a walking light. Childhood sweethearts. On the day of my comingafage ceremony, he drove the elite cavalry, ink hair high bunched. Behind him was 18 dowry flowing like a stream of water carried into the Shen mansion. The young man in fresh clothes shouted, "Sophia, I'm here to marry you." On that day, the scenery was unrivaled, and all the noble women in the entire capital envied me. A scholar's delay is still talkable. A woman's delay is unspeakable. Lucas' love will throw me high into the clouds, and can also trample my feet into a pool of silt. Sister, finally back. Calling my sister to wait, the delicate voice pulls my thoughts back, and I stand mute with courtesan house etiquette on my end. Luna the dream lady greets Mrs. Pei. Luna lifted her hand and slapped me across the face with a stern rebuke. "Sophia, are you trying to get me killed? In front of people you're still the general's wife. Shen Qingjue's legitimate daughter Sophia. If you're still like this, I'll ask brother Shaohuai to send you back again." I can't help but sway my body, lowered my eyebrows and responded. Luna changed to a hypocritical light smile, smoothed my cloak, suddenly pinched the soft flesh of my back waist, and ate the pain and exclaimed out in shock. "Sister, don't be paranoid about anything. So what if you crawled out of there? It's so dirty that it can't get any dirtier. You don't want your lingering mother to know that her daughter is a kilted girl who is ridden by 1,000 people and stepped on by 10,000. Her fingertips rubbed the uneven flesh mark, and I begged her as my legs went weak. She pushed me to the ground and laughed wildly. "Sister, remember the rules of courtesan house or I will call the crowd to admire the brand on your waist." On my back was a bronze brand, a scarlet mark. When I first entered courtesan house, I disobeyed the discipline and, after a failed escape, was tied up and pressed to a red-hot branding iron, and Madam called in some strong men to physically teach me the rules. 3 days later, I knelt meekly in front of Madam to offer tea. Servant dream lady serves grandmother tea, for 3 whole days and 3 nights. I couldn't help but get a shiver down my spine every time I thought back. The main courtyard. Chen Xing cried with tears in her eyes. "Miss, you're finally back. Where is Chen Tao?" Spring apricot and spring peach are my accompanying maids. These days I think about them day in and day out. Sister Chen Tao died. I was struck by thunder. 3 spring apricot choking voice said the causes and consequences. The original spring peach in my next royal prison day. Want to go back to the Shangshu house to beg my mother. Was Luna stopped alive? Wrapped in a straw mat, thrown to a mass grave, not even a slope of yellow soil. Harsh laughter came from the main courtyard, and the taste of rust spread out in the mouth. At night, Lucas came to my room. A young man of great merit. It is not surprising that his heart was moved by Lucas. But I have not been in the same state of mind. He gazed at me coldly. "Tomorrow, my father and mother will return home." Pei's father is the minister of the Ministry of Ceremonies. The year before, he went to Jiangnan to manage the flooding, and Pei's mother also followed him. You get along well with Yu. She is only for second wife. The lady of the house of the general or you. Anne. Royal prison matter, don't tell father and mother. Farcical matter. Don't ask them to worry. A year ago, Lucas suddenly said he wanted to marry Luna as second wife. I couldn't accept it, and took out the hairpin to force him to honor the oath he made when he got married. Saying that he would be married for a lifetime, Luna came to stop me in tears. And between the pulling and tugging, the hairpin accidentally cut her face. Lucas was furious, and dragged me away to royal prison to reflect on the matter. Today, I only seek relief. What the general said is true. I will not talk nonsense in front of servant Pei. He frowned slightly and looked at me unhappily. General, I want to ask for a divorce decree letter to go home to serve my mother's sickbed, so that Miss Shen doesn't have to commit to the position of second wife. After saying this, my heart jumped into my throat and I clutched the paddle apprehensively. Clang! The beautiful celadon porcelain tea set on the table was overturned by him. I fell to my knees, clutching my head in terror. Sophia, you haven't learned your lesson. Still dare to make trouble. I didn't. Master, don't be angry. I kept raving. Who are you acting like this for? Miss Shen, who is not afraid of the sky and the earth. A second wife's position. You've been messing with me for a year. He ripped me up from the ground, my small face pale. I only want a divorce decree. Not to compete with Miss Shen for any title. You less pretend in front of me what to retreat to advance. He pinched my shoulder blades. Raw pain. Or is it that you hooked up with another man at courtesan house and are in a hurry to hang out with someone? With that, he reached out to tear at my clothes. I met his dark eyes. The fire color of that hooking. I am too familiar. Numbness has been carved in my bones, so I let him go. In courtesan house, when you meet a guest who is happy and violent, you have to obediently go up to please, in order to have less pain. I took the initiative to climb up to him and undo the belt around his waist. He will not be so once he sees the words on my waist. He froze in his movements and grunted coldly. You even learned these siren techniques at courtesan house. Simply shameless. My thin lips lightly opened. Master, move gently. Mingyang is afraid of pain. He did not stop, and had the intention to continue. At this time, the boy outside the door came and shouted, General, Miss Yu has a head cold and is calling for you to go and see. Lucas sobered up a bit and got up from me, resuming his cool demeanor. He left in large strides. The door closed heavily, and I dropped to the floor in relief. That is, until Chuanxiang comes in and hugs me, drying the coolness from my face. She angrily cursed Luna Foxy for me twice, and I was busy covering her mouth. The walls have ears. I can't lose her again. The next day, after Pei's father and mother returned to the mansion, I dressed up and went to ask for peace. Once I entered the main hall, I saw Luna and Lucas kneeling in front of the high hall in unison. Pei mother saw me come, changed her color, smilingly got up to welcome me. Said this year I run the general's house is not easy, have lost a lot of weight. She pulled me to sit down beside her and scrutinized the two kneeling in front of her. Qingmeng, do you know that Shaohuai wants to marry you half-sister? I nodded. My daughter-in-law knows, and my daughter-in-law is also willing to serve her husband together with my sister. Mother Pei frowned and looked at me. Qingmeng, are you confused? When you married Shaohuai, you swore an oath in the high hall. I fell to my knees with a loud thud. I have violated the rule of the 7 outings. I have not left the house for 3 years. General should take another one. In the first 2 years, Shaohuai fought in the battlefield, and you were away from each other for a long time. How can you be blamed for this? But I choked. I can't have children anymore. I beg Mother to fulfill General. What do you mean? I went on a spring walk with General. Years ago. I lied vaguely. I accidentally rolled down the hill and miscarried. And the doctor said it would be difficult to get pregnant again. The hall was silent. Pei's mother finally relented and allowed Lucas to pick a date to marry Luna. In the autumn afternoon, I stood in the back garden and fiddled with 2 wilted golden chrysanthemums. I've been gone for a year, and these 2 flowers have been abandoned in a corner, withering away. A light cough came from behind me. I looked back. It was Lucas. "Thanks for today. General is polite," he interrupted unhappily. "Why do you keep calling me General since you came back? Is it because of the royal prison matter?" Still angry at me, I hurriedly shook my head to deny it. "You shouldn't have slashed Yu's face with your hands that day. Otherwise I wouldn't have." He paused. "Besides, I've already found someone to take care of things inside royal prison. And it's not like you've been wronged." "Indeed, he has taken care of it." The 20 plates were really knocked on me. My child was also knocked out alive that day, and I didn't even know he existed until I fainted from abdominal pain and was told to drop the baby. I pulled my lips. "General, I didn't blame you." "Then why? Why do you no longer call me Peilang?" "Because don't deserve it anymore." Peilang, Luna cried pearly and jumped into Lucas' arms. "What's wrong?" I didn't expect Luna to glare at me. I had thought that what my sister said today was sincere. What a surprise. A white rag doll smashed towards my face and landed at my feet. The words "Luna is childless" were written on it, and it was covered in silver needles. "For this was found in my sister's room. So you cursed me behind my back. No wonder I'm not feeling well today." I mistakenly tried to defend myself when Lucas flung a slap at me. "Sophia, I knew it. You never know repentance. When mother and father leave, it's better to send you to courtesan house to continue learning the rules." I panicked and fell to my knees and begged him, "Don't. Please don't send me back. Just repudiate me. I swear I will never appear within the capital." Luna collapsed limply into Lucas' arms and cried as she covered her abdomen, her pink sarong oozing the slightest bit of blood. "Blood. Peilang, my stomach hurts," Luna's maid exclaimed. "General, miss, she's pregnant." I thought the old lady had said at her birthday to make everyone happy. She won't be cursed with a slip. Lucas kicked me in the heart. "Get lost, you poisonous bitch." He picked up Luna and hurried away. Luna had a miscarriage. Lucas reappeared in the courtyard with a grim face. He said he would send me back to courtesan house and pick me up again at the birth feast. He didn't want to see me. Mother Pei went to Yunda Temple to pray for blessings, and I was so scared that I could only beg Lucas not to. Suddenly, Chen Xing pounced on him and knelt down. "General, the villain was stabbed by me. Everything has nothing to do with my master. If you want to punish me, punish me." A mournful scream in the courtyard startled the birds on the tree branches. Chen Xing had her right hand broken, almost killing her. She burned for 3 whole days, and I cried for 3 days. "Chungxing, wait a little longer. I've already written to mother. She'll be here soon to pick us up." This silly girl even told me not to cry, saying she wasn't in pain. I hate myself for looking at the wrong person, harming myself, harming the child, and harming Chun Tao and Chen Xing. A few days later, Pei's mother's birthday banquet, a big deal. Said to go to the bad luck of the house. The courtyard was cold and quiet. I took care of Chungxing before and after. Carrying a basin of blood out the door almost bumped into Lucas. He coughed softly. "Today mother's birthday. You should go with me to the front hall to accompany the guests." I set up Chungxing on the sickbed, put on some makeup, and was about to go out, but he called me back. "You said that you have received the true teachings of Madam at courtesan house, and that your dance is extremely skillful, so you will be the one to present the dance later." My breath caught in my throat as the memory of courtesan house came back to me. "Luna, you really hate me, don't you?" What I learned there were all racy dances that were hardly elegant. The dances were surly and quite seductive. She was determined to make me look bad in front of people. General, I am not a good dancer. I am afraid that I can't. Why are you targeting you in every way? She does not care that you have harmed her. And you are actually starting to take Joe now. He warned me in a hard tone. Mother and the guests are waiting in the front hall. You're on your own. I swallowed the bitterness in my throat and changed into my water-sleeved dancing clothes. The front hall was full of high-profile guests. That one mocking gaze fell on me. Mother, Qingmeng presents a dance to wish you Qilon for your birthday and all the best. I took off my cloak and my purple dance clothes danced to the song. A derisive laugh from the seats mixed with the sound of the zither piercing into my ears. In the past, you could pay money to watch, but now you even need an invitation. You guys have been to that floating tent. Agu. Mrs. General's waist really has a different flavor. Yes. That look of being at the mercy of the slutty look. I recall it night after night. I glanced at Lucas, who was drinking with his arm around Luna, and didn't hear a thing. Luna smiled provocatively at me. I bit my lip and danced through the humiliation. Mother Pei on the seat was beaming. Qingmeng, when did you learn to dance? It's a real scream. Lucas answered back for me. Back to Mother. It was Ayu who specially found the dancers to teach Qingmeng. It was to surprise you. You have the heart. She asked me again. Qingmeng. Is there anything you want? Mother can fulfill one of your wishes today. My heart sank and I said, Mother, Qingmeng wishes to go to a temple for purification, often accompanied by green lamps and ancient Buddhas, and pray for the blessings of my seriously ill mother. There was a commotion and chatter amongst the guests. Qingmeng, we will discuss this matter later. I fell to my knees and kowtowed. I beg for Mother's fulfillment. Such a family matter shouldn't have been brought to the stage, but am afraid that if I miss it, it won't be there. Lucas looks pouty and wants to help me. I shove away. The tool on my waist and stomach being lifted by the wind. Sophia, what's that carved on your waist? Everyone fixes their eyes on my waist. The stark black scars stinging in a different way. I panicked to cover it up, only to be picked apart mercilessly by Lucas. Just like that, my most humiliating mark was displayed in front of everyone. Pei's mother and Pei's father frowned as they came up to identify it, and that word directly caused Pei's mother to cover her lips. Sophia, what's wrong with this word? You speak. There was no lack of some mixed-up second generation amongst the guests who spoke bluntly. What else could it be? Courtesan House's bronze brand. Every girl who goes in has it on her. That's right. Doesn't General Pei know that the Pei family in the capital is the only one that sends its own lady into Courtesan House? I would be willing to spend $1,000 to take mess. Shen as my aunt. How about that? Lucas was furious. Get out. Get lost. He kicked over the table in front of this person and drove all the guests out of the general's mansion. Shaohuai, what's going on here? Pei's father was furious. I don't know. I had a fight with Sophia and sent her to royal prison to try and scare her, and Courtesan House so she could learn the rules. Before Lucas could finish, he received a solid slap from Pei's father. Asshole! How dare you send your own lady to the land of the wind and moon? Seeing this, I held my head and hid under the table, muttering a plea for mercy. Please madam, don't hit me. Mingyang will be obedient. Mother Pei came over to help me and put me in her arms to calm me down. She pointed at Luna, who was not far away, and chided. Was it your bitch's idea? How could Shaohuai be so insidious as to send someone to Courtesan House? Luna's body swayed and weakly returned. No, I didn't know Courtesan House was that kind of place. Before she finished speaking, she fainted against Lucas. Tonight's such a mess. I have severe hysteria. Was filled with tranquilizing soup before I passed out. Had a nightmare. Endless blood on the ground. Endless beatings and endless pickups. When I woke up, Spring Apricot was dangling a hand, wiping the sweat from my forehead. Miss, you woke up. So you suffered so much in courtesan house. I really feel sorry for you. Chen Xing. I want to leave. I feel that if I stay in this sheltered and gloomy general's house anymore, I will not be able to live. Chen Xing wiped away her tears. Okay, miss. I'll go pack up my things. Well, I'll leave when it's dark. In the late afternoon, Lucas came, his face pale, blood stains seeping from the back of his shirt, and stood beside my bed. I thought he had come to apologize, but when I opened my mouth I realized that he had come to absolve Luna. Luna didn't do it on purpose. She didn't know that courtesan house was a den of wolves. Don't blame her. I let out a bitter laugh. My broken heart doesn't care about the cut anymore. General, I don't blame her. I don't blame you. I only ask for a paper divorce decree, but he is not willing to let me go. Just like you, being repudiated by me. Will anyone still want you? This way. You first go to live in the manor outside the city. When I marry you, the rumors in the capital will naturally be dispersed. And then I will pick you up and bring you back. An unexplained anger welled up in my chest. Lucas, you might as well throw a white silk at me and let me hang in the backyard. If you don't love me, then why don't you let me go? You've caused me this much trouble, and you have the face to say such things. I'm so sorry. Please look at us. On the basis of the two families' love for many years, repudiate me. You can save the face of both families. In the end, I even began to beg him, begging for a relief, begging for a way to live. General, the wife of the Minister of Rights is here. The boy at the door came to inform. 6. My mother. She actually came in person. I braced myself to get out of bed and busily ran to the front hall to welcome her. Above the hall, my mother's face was haggard, although her body was sitting upright, but there was more than a hint of reluctance. I jumped in front of her crying. A year of grievances are turned into tears. Hate to flow clean. She choked and pacified me. Dream child. Mother is here. You do not fear. Pei's mother felt that she was wrong. She punished Lucas kneeling in front of the hall to apologize, and asked him to swear not to marry Luna. The rest of his life will make up for me. Lucas naturally reluctant. Pei's father was so angry that he picked up the family law to beat him. My mother waved her hand and called it just. Today I came to ask for a letter of peace for my dream child based on many years of sisterly love. No way. I don't agree. Lucas, who was kneeling on the floor, objected loudly. Mother copied the teacup on the table and smashed it. You still dare to disagree. You ruined my dream child. And you still want to repudiate your wife. The corner of the forehead broke a mouth. A fresh blood gurgled down. No one dared to come forward to stop. I don't have. I will treat Qingmeng well after I marry you. The mother snorted coldly. General Pei, if you do not sign the Book of Peace and Separation today, I will take the enjoined decree to knock imperial petition drum and sue the imperial court. She threw the peace treaty in front of him. I'd like to see if your military functions can't offset the fault of favoring a concubine and destroying a wife. Pei's mother came up to persuade her, telling the boy to go get the general's palm seal. Mother waved her hand toward the back of the pillar. Luna. You should come and call me legal mother. Qingyu has met mother. Luna behind the pillar snapped and bowed towards her mother. The mother smiled towards Pei's mother. This girl has lived in your house for a long time without a name and without a title. It's not in line with the rules. I'm taking it away today. Lucas was going to come to stop him, and Luna cried and begged him. Behind the mother, Wang mother reached out and slapped. Luna covered her face, was torn to kneel in front of her mother. Luna, you used to fornicate with Mr. Home. It was Menger who pleaded on your behalf to save your life. Now I definitely can't keep you in the Pei family. Insulting people's discipline. At these words, Lucas gave Luna a dismayed look, and she hung her head sheepishly. The year before last, Luna fell in love with the family's Shuisai teaching teacher. And in the woodshed heavenly thunder hooked the fire, was caught dirty by father face to face. I begged for leniency and sent her to southern provinces, begging my uncle to find her an ordinary family to marry. Unexpectedly, Luna secretly ran back, when I was already married to Lucas. She knelt in front of the general's house and begged me to take her in. I couldn't bear to send her back. She only said that the scholar was now in high school and she wanted to come to him for a title. But the scholar became an official and married the daughter of a rich merchant, not mentioning anything about that year. Later, Luna and Lucas were together, and after I saw them hugging each other, I shivered and pushed Luna out of the door, but Lucas pushed me down and said he wanted to marry Luna as his second wife. Now there is no point in saying anything else. Luna knelt down and begged me. Sister, I am sorry for you. I shouldn't have had that kind of thought, but I really didn't mean what happened at Courtesan House. I yanked the hem of my dress back from her, unwilling to look at her again. If Courtesan House had no one's authorization, how could they dare to take an official woman, Madam General, that forged divorce decree and servant domicile? I saw it with my own eyes at Padre Madam's. Lucas staggered back a few steps, glaring at Luna with bared eyes. Then he reluctantly stamped his palm on the divorce decree under urging. My mother called for a boy to take Luna back to the Shen family home with her. Luna was reluctant to go back because my father, Squire Shen, who has always been a strict and disciplined family man, would not let her off lightly this time. In the dark night, the surrounding firelight illuminated the entire courtyard. Luna's wail resounded throughout the Shen residence. Luna's mother is Auntie Jean. She knelt in front of the hall trembling. She could not have imagined that her daughter, whose heart is higher than the sky, would dare to do such a stupid thing. The eldest son of the Shen family is at the border to check the salt tax. Lady of the house is the Empress Dowager's righteous daughter. The stupid born of heaven's concubine daughter dared to delude herself into thinking that the Shen family legitimate daughter pulls down the water, their own rise to the throne, in vain, but also caused her to follow the crime. Xiaoyang, save me. She looked at her own biological mother breathlessly, and could not exchange a glance of pity. After the father knew the cause and effect, he was so angry that he cursed Auntie Jean, and was going to be beaten to death alive, but the mother stopped it. Death would be too cheap for her. 7 Luna was sent to the suburban convent the next day, shaved as an ant. That convent is not a serious place, on the surface of cultivation, but actually enrichment, is a place of rich children to seek pleasure, southern provinces feng shui to raise people. Mother's health is not in good condition, coughing all the year around, because I met this kind of thing worry for a long time, and recently committed coughing disease. Mother, I want to go back to southern province's old home with you. The capital is full of rumors about me. Say to the outside world that I am dead. Take me back. Mother painfully stroked my face. It's all my mother's fault for choosing the world's worst man for you. Go back to southern provinces and mother will find another man of your choice for you. I shook my head. Mother, I only want to serve you well. Never marry again. Silly child. What nonsense. It will be good. I will never let you suffer such indignities again. I followed my mother back to my home in southern provinces by water. My mother found a bone setter for me to get rid of the brand on my waist. I was scared at first, afraid that the bone setter would say something if he saw me. It was not easy to get to a place where no one knew about the dirty deeds. I wanted to start over and live a good life. My mother comforted me. That man is your aunt's nephew. Already said with him that you were assassinated. He also swore in public. Well, then, mother, you stay with me. After coming out of Courtesan House, I had been afraid to share a room with a man. The bone setter's name was Chen Sifang, a handsome young man with a gentle manner. The method to get rid of brand is simple but painful. It involves plucking out the rotting flesh raw and letting new flesh grow. The first time, I bit my lip and scared my mother with a mouthful of blood. The second time, Chen Sifang specially brought cotton cloth, and as he plucked out the flesh, he handed it to me with a smile. Bite this, or your mother will be heartbroken again when she sees it. After 2 removals, the word was finally gone, leaving only the bloody wound. Chen Sifang, I want to ask you, is there any medicine that makes people forget painful memories? His hand that was lancing the needle gave a lurch and took out a bottle of medicine from the medicine chest. There is. It's called memory herb, but you have to take it for a long period of time and combine it with acupuncture treatment for it to be effective. I reached out and took it, a bright light flooding my long darkened eyes. Yes, I will. From that day on, I only got better day by day. Chen Sifang came to me every day, and would talk to me for a long time after acupuncture. He never asked me about my past, but only told me interesting things about the pill hall today. He said that there is a cute little girl in the pharmacy, always grabbing the wrong medicine. The shopkeeper said that grabbing the wrong one time to deduct $10. The result is that at the end of the month payroll, the little girl owes the pharmacy $10. I laughed and asked why the shopkeeper did not dismiss her. He said because the girl is his sister. The shopkeeper is his father. I laughed for the first time and couldn't help but wonder about Chen Sifang's family's medicine hall. Finally, after a month, I brought up the idea of visiting his family's pharmacy. Chen Sifang's younger sister, Chen Qingyue, was really interesting, chattering with me about many interesting things, and she dragged me to go shopping and eat delicious food at the restaurant. On the day of the Mid-Autumn Festival, we went to a lantern festival together with Chen Sifang. When we were releasing the lanterns together, the 3 of us wrote our wishes on the lanterns. And I accidentally caught Chen Sifang's. He wrote, "Wish for a better life and wish for a better life." He wrote, "May Qingmeng be happy and well." My heart fluttered like a deer all the way, and I didn't even care to watch the performance on the stage. I couldn't help but ask Chen Sifang why when he went to buy a candy man. Chen Sifang's smile was as soft and radiant as a river of stars. I always feel that fate has shortchanged you, so I want you to be happy and happy. Thank you. I only felt sourness in my eyes. Perhaps the lights were too harsh. Chen Qingyue and I stayed in the medicine hall day after day, and she took me up to the mountains to pick herbs and dry them, enjoying ourselves. But one day, I accidentally rolled down the cliff. Scared Chen Qingyue panicked, busy back to the medicine hall to call people. Chen Qingyue said it was the first time she had ever seen her brother look so disoriented. Fortunately, I was caught by a tree branch and only hurt my leg when I fell. Chen Sifang came day after day to give me acupuncture. If my leg doesn't heal in the future, then I'll have to blackmail Xiao Miao, I joked. Well, I'll compensate you for her. What? If you can't get your leg well, I'll compensate you for me. He put down the silver needle in his hand and looked at me in a serious manner. I only felt my throat dry and lowered my eyebrows, not daring to look at him. Miss, General Pei is here. What to do? 8 Spring Apricot ran into the house in a fury. General Pei? Which General Pei? Probably because memory herb was working. I couldn't recall the previous events for a moment. Chun Xing was dumbfounded. Chen Sifang, however, got up. You have a bad leg. They'll go see it for you. I nodded. In this year or so, other than my mother, I only trusted Chen Sifang. I ate the preserves Chen Qingyue brought me and looked at her book of words. The front room, however, seemed to be noisy. I was worried that something would happen to Chen Sifang, and walked over with a wobble on my crutches. Chen Sifang was actually fighting with a tall and powerful man, and he was clearly no match for the man. I copied my crutches and slammed them at the man. Who are you? How dare you come to my door and hit my man? The man cut my walking stick off, and with a happy face, he wrapped me into his arms. Aw Meng, I'm coming. I did wrong in the past. All I could think of in my mind at the moment of near death on the battlefield was you. And that's when I realized how much I love you. A dream. Can you forgive me for my youthful ignorance? Come home with me. Okay. I slapped him across the face and shouted. I don't know any General Pei. General Wang. Get out of my house now or I'll report you to the police. He hesitated. Aw Meng. Lucas. You're Pei Lang. I don't have any Pei Lang. I don't even remember. Get out of my house. I covered my ears and tried to drive the name out like a splash drum. I pulled off my hairpin and stabbed towards him. He let go and I fell into that embrace that was familiar with the scent of herbs. Lucas' chest was stained with a bit of blood. He anxiously asked, why doesn't she remember me? Why? What did you guys give her? Chen Sifang poured out a pill from a white porcelain bottle and put it in my mouth, and I quickly settled down. What is this? Memory herb. It's for hysteria. So that's what she took to not remember me. Lucas sounded more than a little devastated. Chen Sifang snorted. Doesn't General Pei feel ridiculous? Where in this world is there any medicine that can make people lose their memories? Memory herb only tranquilizes the mind. Clearing the dreams to forget is ultimately just a bad memory of something. Impossible. He hissed. We obviously love each other so much. Chen Xing really couldn't help it. If you really love my lady, would you hurt her now? My lady crawled out of the den of wolves. Don't you dare come back to haunt her. Don't you love Luna? She's in convent. Go bail her out and live your godly lives. I take the pills to settle down and those chaotic memories pour into my head. I pointed at Lucas and said, Lucas, let's not see each other again in this life. After thinking about it, I changed my words. It's don't see each other again in this life, Sophia is dead. After saying that, I passed out. I was trapped in a black vortex that kept circling, and finally a hand reached out from a glimmer of light and pulled me out. I woke up. Chen Sifang was leaning against the bedside taking a nap, his palm over the back of my hand, dry and warm. Chen Sifang. I want to go to Yundel Temple. He woke up the moment I moved my hand. Okay. Eat something. I'll take you there later. He fed me some congee. Chen Xing came and dressed me. Her right hand was almost healed after Chen Sifang's treatment, but the scar was still there. I rubbed the scar carefully and she retracted her hand. This is my accidental fall. Miss, don't think about the past. I smiled faintly. Good. I've already forgotten a lot of things. Or maybe I don't want to remember. Chen Sifang bent down with his back to me, signaling me to come up. I didn't refuse and crouched on his back. The back was thin but broad, and I leaned against it reassuringly. Chen Sifang, you're so thin. Eat more in the future. Ahoo. A muffled reply vibrated along my chest. A magnificently dressed but bearded teenage general appeared in the doorway. He lunged towards Chen Sifang and was stopped by the boy. Aw Meng, please look at me. I really know it's wrong. I'm willing to spend the rest of my life making amends. Please don't ignore me. I didn't bother to look at him and followed Chen Sifang onto the carriage. Yunde Temple. Solemn and solemn, incense and candles. I worshipped in front of the Buddha again and again, and Chen Sifang carried me on his back to see the pear blossoms in the back of the mountain. He asked me, what wish did you make in front of the Buddha? May you be happy and fulfilled. He let out a shallow laugh. It's already happy now. At the end of the year, I married Chen Sifang. Knowing that I would not be able to get pregnant again, I had to give Chen Sifang a concubine. For the first time, I saw such a gentle man get so angry that he gave silver to send the girl back. Sophia. You don't love me at all. He leaned against my neck and complained of falling tears, which burned my heart. I don't want any children. Wait for another 3 to 5 years. It'll take you to travel the mountains and rivers, and live a free life for the two of us. Isn't that good? Good. But I always feel indebted to him. He said, Love is always feel indebted, but do not need to compromise. Then he said traveling the mountains and rivers. After all, he broke his promise. I got pregnant and gave birth to a lovely daughter. Traveling in the mountains and rivers is afraid that it will take another 10 years or 8 years. End.